Based on media coverage, there have been 135 disabled people killed by their parents or caretakers in the past 2 decades. These records only begin in 1983, and in the early 1990s, there were only 1 or 2 deaths of disabled children per year. 33 of the 135 cases are from 2014 alone, the most deaths in any one year. One of the most famous cases was from November, when London McCabe, an autistic 6-year-old boy, died after his mother threw him from a bridge. Both London and his father were disabled, and his mother had regularly blogged about how it was too difficult to care for them. She mentioned being overwhelmed and wanting to pull a Thelma and Louise and drive her family off of a cliff. Despite this, no one had contacted the authorities to protect London from her. The media coverage following his murder focused on how his mother had reached a point of desperation, how she had experienced a breakdown or a mental collapse because she was so overwhelmed. These stories emphasize the difficulties that his mother had faced in raising a disabled child and the stresses this could put on her family, as well as the help she should have received. This is a mistake. Similar stories are often followed by copycat murders, in part because the news tries to explain these deaths and emphasize with the killers, rather than mourning the victims. These stories describe disabled children as burdens, so naturally their parents are overwhelmed and tired. Presented in this light, murder seems like a reasonable option. This biased coverage erases the victim, and the public support for caregivers is used by defense attorneys to get their clients minimal charges. In a similar case, just 2 months before London's death, an attorney argued that his client should be charged with manslaughter rather than murder, since she was desperate and living in, quote, extenuating and horrific circumstances. This discourse perpetuates the idea that death is worse than disability, to the point that parents feel they can make this decision for their child. London was a living boy. He was not in crisis or in need of pity. He was a happy child who liked smiling in hats, and he deserved better.